An update on an exclusive story CTV first brought you in April after students with disabilities reported that dozens of locations across campus were inaccessible. We take a look at what the University of Maryland is currently doing to become ADA compliant and whether the timeline works for one student who uses a wheelchair.
A lot of my classes are down that way because that's where the engineering buildings are. So it would be really convenient if I could cross right here.
Adith Thumalapalli has often found getting around campus frustrating, to say the least. This past spring, the college senior who has muscular dystrophy decided to start documenting inaccessible locations around campus. This 43-page report contained his findings.
The report is basically broken down into 5 main areas that we focus on. One of them is inaccessible crosswalks. One of them is inaccessible buildings themselves. One is elevators that are under maintenance.
Today, he's more hopeful now that renovations on many of his findings have begun taking place.
It has definitely been a slow process, but we are starting to notice some improvements. Like some of the curb cuts that I brought attention to in that report are starting to be fixed. There's actually one right back behind where we're standing that they just fixed literally yesterday. So we are seeing progress.
Just last week, while covering a separate story, CTV stumbled on this update after noticing construction for the elevator in the South Campus dining hall.
We've obviously been aware for a long time that we had accessibility issues, and we decided to address them about 2.5 years ago. It's very expensive, and it took a while for us to gather the funding. We got a grant for a lot of the funding, and we just really went full speed ahead last January on this project.
If I have to use the restroom, what I need to do is exit the dining hall, come across the street to this building that we're standing in front of, and use the accessible restroom in that building.
The new elevator and accessible bathrooms were supposed to be done before the fall semester began, but Hippel says it will most likely be December before the project is completed. Thumalapalli has come to terms with the fact that most accommodations will be made after he graduates.
At this point, I'm not worried about myself. I just want these changes to be made so that other people in the future who might be going through a situation just like me so that they don't have to fight this fight. That's why I'm doing it.
Now, many of the accessibility problems Thumalapalli identified in his report were already being tracked by the university. But the college senior says since his report was made public and the Student Government Association endorsed it unanimously, there has been a sense of urgency to make the needed repairs.